my brothers and sisters in Christ. Today's gospel passage is short, but contains the famous golden rule. But it also contains another passage which sometimes is a bit troubling or mystifying to people, and that is Jesus' exhortation to not cast, our pearls before, before throw, food to dogs, pearls before swine. What does this mean? And first of all, we need to understand, okay, what are dogs and swine? Dogs and swine are both considered unclean animals that are, dogs were not domesticated by the people there. So they're scavengers. There's something unreliable, untrustworthy. They're out there. Swine, same thing, are unclean animals. And so it's something outside of the community. And so when we speak, pearls, as Jesus uses in other images, such as the pearl of great price, is something of great value. And this, throughout Christian history, has been compared, the application of this teaching, to matters of evangelization as well as matters of the sacraments. Nowadays, I think people latch more onto the sacramental side about who is able to receive the Eucharist, for example. But I think also the broader interpretation through evangelization is important to look at in a practical way of how we discourse with the world. And this teaching is one ultimately of discernment. Sometimes we see in today's world those with a lot of zeal to correct every wrong that is out there, especially the internet has given a platform for everyone with a voice to speak their mind. But sometimes there's this trap of saying too much, and that is that the one that is outside the community, whether it's a pagan, an unbeliever, or an atheist, an agnostic, someone who's fallen away with the faith, typically someone doesn't come to Christ by you hammering them over the head with the entire content of the catechism. The person is not disposed and prepared in this way. To pass over every mystery of truth that we know is, in a sense, to cast pearls before swine, and that it's not an effective, it's a waste. Now, does that mean that that person is a waste or unworthy of attention? Not at all. That's not the point of the teaching. But it's an exercise of discernment of what is appropriate. Instead, often, first of all, we have to put our trust in God's prevenient grace, the way He prompts and brings about conversion of hearts. But we also need a witness of love, a readiness at hand to accompany people to conversion. And that is, sometimes it's just to sit and listen to the problems, show some love, a couple of words of wisdom, and that will get someone's attention. And as their heart and their mind open up, they'll be more receptive to new things. The comparison I could make was, if you take a newborn baby, first a baby nurses at its mother's breasts, then might have formula, might have pureed foods of different kind. Instead, you're not going to take a newborn baby and set down a plate with the filet mignon and hand it a fork and a knife. Not only does a baby not able to use a fork and a knife, it doesn't know what to do with it, but it would make the baby sick. So it is for us when we try to over-evangelize, when we try to bludgeon people with the truth, with the pearls. But instead, we must have patience to allow God to do His work. That doesn't mean we have to be negligent or disengaged. But with the world out there, it doesn't need another more powerful argument. As the adage goes, I posted a better argument on Facebook and won everyone over to my side, said no one ever. That as we see, people don't respond to this kind of forceful teaching, bludgeoning, correcting, but instead it is our authentic Christian witness of love and accompaniment with the person on the way. Indeed, God does not see anyone as a dog or as a pig. This is a cultural context in which the passage is delivered, but the wisdom is timeless. Let us not cast our pearls before swine, but instead, may we take care, continue to preach and form those within the Christian community, and may we continue to offer the invitation to those without.